My name is Adam Mayon, and this is my MTNA story. So I was born and raised in South Louisiana, basically in the heart of Cajun country. And so as you can imagine, some of my favorite foods are boiled crawfish and gumbo. And if you haven't tried those, you really should. Anyway, I grew up doing both sports and music. My dad really loves to do sports, and my mom really loves to play music. So naturally, I did both, and I did everything from tennis, baseball, track, and cross country to piano, alto sax and band, singing, and guitar. But out of all of those things that I did, one activity that really just stuck with me was piano. And I was very fortunate to have studied with a very talented local teacher at the time, and she was the one who really instilled the love of music within me. Fast forwarding a number of years later, during my high school years, I had the privilege of studying with Dr. Chen Kiat Lim, who many of you know as a long-term member of MTNA. And he was the one who really got me to want to pursue the music major and also pursue a career in music and piano specifically. So I ended up going to Loyola University New Orleans for my undergrad, and I got very serious with piano. I wanted to get my music out there in the fastest and most efficient way possible. Being raised in South Louisiana my whole life, I was ready to move on to new places. And I think one of the ways that I found that worked really well was through competitions. So there was one competition that really caught my eye, and that was the MTNA Young Artist Piano Competition. It sounded like a really good opportunity. I had never heard of MTNA at that point, but I said, why not? So I filled out my application, I got my rep up, went to the state competition, and did really well. After that, I moved on to the regional competition, and at this point I was really nervous because living in Louisiana my whole life, I knew just how formidable all the pianists in Texas were. They're just fantastic programs in Texas, and that's who I was going up against. But I think that fired me up even more to do the very best that I could. So during that competition, I played very well, ended up winning it, and went on to the national competition. This time, this was in 2011, this would have been in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This was the first time I'd ever been to a national conference for MTNA, and pretty much a national conference for anything music related. And I have to tell you, it was probably one of the best experiences of my life. Just to see the amount of music teachers and music students come together in one place to share music and talk about music and talking about teaching music. And I just felt like I was really home. It is a fantastic experience for me just to see, you also get the free sheet music, but whenever I went to compete in the national competition, it was a completely different environment. I think the level was so high, and I was not used to this at all. But I think because the level was so high, I quickly adjusted to that. And all I wanted to do at that point was, when I got up to the stage, I said, I want to do the best that I can be and just let the music speak. And that's exactly what happened. The judges really liked it, and I ended up winning my first national competition. And it was really a fantastic experience, and I have to thank MTNA for all of that. Ever since the MTNA competition experience, I felt like I wanted to give back to MTNA and its community. And I had the wonderful opportunity to do so during my doctoral degree at Cincinnati College Conservatory of Music. And there I was president of the collegiate chapter, and we were able to present at local conferences and at the state conference and host workshops and travel to the collegiate symposium. And through all of this, we made great connections and just grew as a teacher, a performer, and as a human being. And on top of that, I had the privilege of working with Dr. Michelle Konda, who was just my absolute best supervisor and mentor, and really pushed the importance of being active in MTNA and rethinking the way we teach students. So not lecturing so much, but letting them do more and facilitating, and all of this kind of conglomerated, all of this advice from MTNA, Dr. Konda, and my other mentors, it just conglomerated into such a positive experience and growth opportunity for me. After the doctoral degree, I ended up getting a job in New Hampshire as the coordinator of piano and collaborative piano at Plymouth State University. And there we also have MTNA opportunities. I've worked on building the collegiate chapter up here, and also being a part of the state chapter. So right now I'm newly elected as the president of the New Hampshire MTNA, and we have some very passionate and dedicated music teachers, and we're currently working on growing the chapter and renewing a lot of interest and supporting our teachers through these difficult times that we're at. So that's a little bit about me. I want to thank MTNA for giving me the opportunity to share my experience with all of you. And finally, I wish you good health and good teaching experiences.